What to try? Let's try a gingerbread pod and hope that this one's better. That's so cute. It's giving holidays. I'm gonna tell you, I don't think I like the way that this smells. So now I have lower expectations. It just smells like weird. I'm gonna let it cool down for a second. Good morning though, welcome to a chatty vlog. Today we're gonna chat all day, all throughout the day. I'm gonna answer some questions that you guys asked me on Instagram. Lots of good juicy ones. I actually love doing these vlogs. I think they're so fun. For me, when I film these, I feel like I'm hanging out with you all day. I also feel like with these videos, I get to keep you more updated and talk to you about everything. So it's just fun. 8:50 a.m., started the day off with some emails, and then I'm going to bring it down to the couch because you can tell it is a dark day. It's gonna rain all day. It's gonna be a cozy day in. This is kind of ideal. Let's try this. Oh, you know what? Better than I expected, but it doesn't like taste like gingerbread. Maybe it does. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Okay, let's get this day started. I just put a couple little curls in my hair, and that is gonna be the most that I do on my appearance today. There is an event that I was planning to go to tonight, but the rain is just like, nah. You stay home. You stay home today. So I'm not gonna fight it. I'm gonna stay home. Anyways, I'm going to answer some questions in like categories. Starting off with the random questions. When are the Christmas decorations going up? They're going up tomorrow. I feel like it's time. I'm ready. I wanna start earlier this year. Another great question. Your height. People are always very confused when they meet me in person because I'm apparently shorter than I look online. I am a good 5'2". I think I'm like 5'1 3/4", so 5'2" on a good day. More often than not, when I meet people in person, the first thing they say to me is, oh my God, you're so much smaller than I expected, which I always find so funny. Anyways, I am a short girl. Can you talk about change? Fuck! I always get so, literally always. I'm always, oh, she's a little toasty. I always jump at the toaster. I actually just found these little mini cream cheeses. I'm gonna use these. Anyways, what was I saying? Can you talk about change and growth in life and how important it is for survival? Okay, so one thing about life is that change is inevitable and it's constant. Like that is the one sure thing we know in life outside of death. And that can be kind of a scary thought, like nothing will ever be the same, and that does sound kind of scary. But you can also twist your mindset and think of how exciting that is actually. Hello ma'am, I'm just filming a vlog making a bagel.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I love you, bye.
Love you, bye. Okay, the bagel's delicious, but I've now decided to add, as you've seen, the avocado. I'm just gonna put a little pepper on top, as well as a little garlic powder, naturally. It seems like it's been a bit of a chaotic morning. Cheers. This is perfect. Anyways, I think once you accept that change is inevitable, like no matter what, there's no escaping it. There's a lot of freedom in that. I also just think change is so important. If you look back at your 5 years ago self, I feel like for most people, we're pretty proud of the growth and the changes we've made to be who we are right now. I am so glad I'm not the same girl I was 5 years ago. I'm so glad. If you are not content with everything in your life right now, change is inevitable. You can still become the person you want to be. It's a beautiful thing of life. Like you have so much flexibility if you decide to act on it, if that makes sense. On a lighter note, when are you gonna see Jill again? Jill I will be seeing in basically just 1 month, like 1 month and a few days. She's gonna be here for New Year's again, so I will be seeing her very shortly. The rain is really coming down, guys. This is so wonderful. I'm working from the couch. I'm gonna get some editing done before lunch. But continuing on the random questions to start off this video, I thought this one was pretty interesting. I was watching her old vlogs and was wondering, what would you think of the witch now? I think this is really interesting because that was obviously a few years ago now. Like I was 24, 25 going through all of that. And I do genuinely think that I would handle it differently if it happened to me right now at this point in my life. I find that I have matured over the last few years, at least a little bit, and I think that I would have handled the situation differently. But with that being said, I handled that situation the best that I could at the time, and I was extremely triggered by that woman. I've always been a more sensitive person, like just growing up my entire life, I've been more sensitive. And whenever people are upset with me for any reason, I usually get like mass anxiety, and that, you know, comes out in different ways. It comes out differently now, where now I try to communicate, whereas with this woman, she came at me with a lot of aggression and anger, and it like just, it really triggered me, honestly, and I reacted based off of that. Obviously not everything we do in life is gonna be a proud moment looking back, but I think that I handled it the best that I could. Like, I don't think that I was in the wrong in what happened and what transpired through that situation. Like, I know she was an old woman, but I felt very uncomfortable in my home. You know, like after numerous times of getting changed or sitting on your couch and like looking and somebody's watching you, it's a very unsettling feeling, and naturally people react to certain things like that. And I had never gone through anything like that before, where I was just constantly getting yelled at when I would step outside. Like, I was scared to go outside in my backyard and enjoy my home because this woman was gonna spray me with water, or she was going to yell at me, or she was just gonna look at me, and like, it's just very unsettling. I also think even if I had approached things differently, I don't think it would have made a difference. You know, like that was a situation that was really out of my control. Needless to say, I'm just happy not to be in that situation. I have very nice neighbors here that I don't have to worry about it. We're gonna do some laptop work here, and then we're gonna make something for lunch, maybe just soup. I don't know, I'll have to see what's in the fridge. But I'm starting to get hungry, so we'll do that in a little bit. Okay, let's talk travel life stuff. Where's the next vacay? So I am going to London and Paris for the holiday season. You might be like, why are you going back again? And you know what? I respect the question. It's a valid question for sure. In my opinion, there's never too much of a good thing. I absolutely love London, obviously. And London during like the Christmas season, I think is going to be insane. Same with Paris. So we're just going for a week. It's gonna be a wonderful girls trip. So Jody and I planned this maybe like 2 months ago now? No, 6 weeks? Either way, we planned it. We invited everyone to come with us. And now Maddie's confirmed she's coming. And then one of Jody's friends, Margot, is also coming with us. But she's just gonna come for the London part. Anyways, that is the next trip. That's gonna be my last trip of 2023. This was a good travel year, I will say. As for 2024 travel plans, I actually have quite a lot planned and booked. So I have a trip in January, probably like 95% confirmed. Possibly 2 trips in January, actually. It depends on if I go to Florida to spend time with the grandparents and the fam end of January or sometime in February. Gonna go to LA in March. That'll likely be the first time that I go back after, you know, getting rid of my apartment. It's Jill's 30th birthday, so I'm definitely gonna be there. Probably end up going end of February, actually, into March. April, we have a family trip planned, so that's exciting. That's kind of where we're at. But it's seeming like next year's gonna be a great travel year once again. I look forward to it. Butternut squash soup, and I put broccoli in there. So yummy. Let's go sit, actually. It's so dark in here. I'm just so happy that I don't have to get out of my pajamas today. Like, I'm going to be staying just like this. Okay, do you have a 3 or 5 year plan? If so, what is it? I don't. I feel like for the longest time, I felt the pressure to have like a full 5-10 year plan. But honestly, after 2020, I realized that things could change like that. You can't really ever plan. Obviously, you can have like goals and wants. I just don't like to think that far ahead. You never know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Like, you could meet somebody and the entire course of your life changes in a day. You just don't know. So I don't plan like that. I do have like wants, like I want to have a family probably in 5-ish years, but who knows? Okay, I'm gonna have some lunch. I'm gonna do some editing on the couch, and we'll check in a few hours. Simply do not know how it's already 4 o'clock. The days that are dark like this, they just go so fast because everything feels the same. You just don't really feel the time moving, but now we're here. I've had the candle lit, nice big glass of water I've been drinking. I'm also not gonna lie, I did take a 30-minute reading break. I needed to. Which brings me to the next topic of conversation, which is books. I could talk about books for literally ever. It brings me so much joy to talk about. But before we do, a huge thank you to today's sponsor, which is BetterHelp. Let's go sit in the cute little vibe. I'm getting off the couch. I've been here all day. I'm also not mad about that, but I do want to switch it up a little bit. From the couch to the floor. Should I turn the fireplace on? Yes. If by some chance you've never heard me talk about BetterHelp or anybody talk about BetterHelp, basically they are online therapy, which is amazing for any of us that like the comfort of our homes. As you know, that is me. The first time I did therapy, I actually did it out in the world, and the waiting room is just so awkward. It's just so much nicer to be in your own space, and like you don't have to go anywhere and make it a whole thing. It just makes therapy so much easier and more accessible, especially because BetterHelp has a massive network of therapists. Like we're talking 30,000. This obviously provides better access to therapists that you might not have in your area. It's super easy. You just sign up, do a little quiz, and then they're gonna match you up with the right therapist for you. Therapy is kind of like dating. You know, you might not get the perfect therapist on the first match, but it's super easy to switch and try somebody new. The other nice thing about it being online is you can speak on the phone, you can do a video call, you can do messages, like whatever you're comfortable with, you can choose. Obviously, I'm a huge advocate for mental health. It's one of the reasons why I like to be so transparent and honest about what's going on in my life with you guys, just so that we all understand that we're never alone in what we're going through, ever. Sometimes you need extra help to find the tools you need to get through things, and BetterHelp can be a really great service for you. So I'm gonna have a link down below. I have a code. You can go to betterhelp.com/Tara for 10% off your first month of therapy. Link is down below. Highly recommend. Huge thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring the vlog. Now let's talk about books. I feel like this is giving the cozy book vibes that we want. Maybe I need like my blanket. Wait. I might be on the floor directly next to my cozy couch, but this is a vibe. I'm just gonna shimmy some things. Also, this is the last day with the fall stuff, so I feel like this is giving fall cozy vibes. It's gonna be Christmas tomorrow. So anyways, let's talk books. Are Kindles actually better than reading physical copies? I'm debating one, but torn. So this is obviously like dependent on yourself. I never was a reader. You didn't know that. Like I literally did not read, even when required to for school. Like it wasn't for me. But I really wanted a new hobby, and I thought books could be fun. So I ended up buying this, hoping that I was going to enjoy reading. And this changed my life. It sounds really traumatic to say that because it's just reading books, but like having this hobby has been so enjoyable for me. I do have physical copies of some of my favorite books because quite honestly, I think of them as little trophies. Sounds crazy, but it's the truth. I wouldn't say one is better than the other by any means. It's still the same book, you know, just different ways of reading it. I like this because it's obviously thin, it's easy, and it's also, like I'm reading a very long book right now, but I don't really think about that because I can't see how thick it is. If it was in front of me, I'd be like, whoa, I have a long ways to go. I can see how much I have left based on the little percentage at the bottom, which is something that I really love about this as well. It can gauge exactly how long it's gonna take me to read a chapter. So if I'm reading at the end of the day and there's like a 5-minute chapter, I know that I have enough time to read it. It makes me fly through books. I also like adjusting the font size on here. There's a lot of perks to reading on a Kindle or like an e-reader. People ask me all the time if I like my Kindle, and it's quite literally my prized possession. Like I love this thing. I'll never go anywhere without it, truly. Also got a lot of questions asking if I've ever subscribed to Kindle Unlimited. So when I first got it, I had the 3-month free trial and I liked it, but I realized after my trial ended that you don't really need it. Unless you read a shit ton, I don't think it's worth its value. It's $10 a month, but most of the Kindle Unlimited books are like $2. Maybe not all of them. The ones that I was reading were like $1.50 to $3 max, and I couldn't read all of them fast enough to make that worth the 10 bucks every single month. I was under the impression that you get all books for the $10 a month, but you do not. It's just certain ones, and those are the cheaper ones anyways. So I do not, and I don't necessarily recommend. How many books have you read this year? I am at 43. This is my 43rd book. That's crazy. And now that I'm so close to 50, I plan on hitting 50. I just want to read like a bunch of really cute little Christmas novellas in December. I did that last year and it was so fun. I do think is realistic considering I have a 7-hour flight coming up next week. Are you gonna read ACOTAR after Iron Flame? I am going to read ACOTAR. I do plan on getting into that entire world. I'm a little nervous because I know it's gonna be a lot, and I don't plan on doing it in the next month just because I know I'm gonna have the worst book hangover ever after finishing this, and I just don't want 2 different fantasy worlds back to back like that. Like I need something light and easy in between, but I do plan on reading the ACOTAR series next year. How do you stay focused enough to read while working in social media? Honestly, I think the way to stay focused in reading is to find a really good book. Like I never liked reading. I always fell off when I was reading the self-help books because they just didn't like hook me the way that this hooks me. If I read a couple chapters and it's really good, I'm gonna have a hard time putting it down. But yeah, so I think just find a really good book. Lastly, in regards to books, if I read one thriller and one romance book that you've read this year, which would you choose? That is a good question that I don't know my answer to. Let me look at my Goodreads. I do have my Goodreads linked in the description. I don't really rate books because I just don't think that deeply about it. If I like the book, it's gonna be 5 stars. Okay, one thriller, one romance. One of my top thrillers of the year was Never Lie by Frida McFadden. It was a crazy story. I can't even really remember what it's about now because I've read so many this year, but I remember loving it. I thought it was insane. Maybe I'll give you two of each category. I almost want to say my second favorite thriller was The Only One Left. Is that right? Maybe. I don't know. Or The Golden Couple. That one was really crazy. Okay, so that's 3. As for romance, Love in Other Words. That one's a tie with Every Summer After, same kind of storyline, but I read Love in Other Words first, so I really loved that story. And then I kind of want to say the Simple Wild series. So good, especially if you live in Toronto or you know Toronto well. So good. So good. And lastly, Funny You Should Ask. It's kind of like a rom-com vibe. It's really hard for me to decide. They're so good. Anyways, I feel like I've talked about books for so long now. I could just keep going. I really could, but I'm gonna stop here and it's kind of getting warm by the fireplace. So I'm gonna go back on the couch. Oh, nice. Okay, I'm gonna go back to doing some editing. It feels like 5, 6 o'clock, like I should turn on some TV, but it's 4:15. So, not yet. Not yet. A moment for the sky. It's pink. It's been gray all day and now it's pink. So I feel like it's only appropriate to talk love and relationships. As per usual, I always get the most amount of questions about my love life. It is like the #1 thing that I am asked about. And I do have some fun updates. We'll start with the one that I got the most, which I thought was so funny actually. Updates on the British boy. So if you don't know, I met a British boy on Halloween weekend out at a bar and I went on a coffee date with him. And I was so surprised by the comments on my YouTube vlog about this guy. So I shared more about him on TikTok than I did here. So many people on YouTube were telling me to give this guy another date and another chance, whereas everyone on TikTok was like, oh my god, like get away. Oh, look at the sky, it's straight up purple. I ran upstairs to see what it looked like. Oh my gosh. Anyways, on TikTok, everyone was like, no, like absolutely not. For context, if you didn't see that, this guy was a perfectly fine seeming guy, like totally fine, but definitely just a different way of speaking, different sense of humor. And he made a lot of like fat shaming jokes towards women, and I really didn't like that. He also didn't ask me any questions about myself, like literally none. And a lot of people commented saying that, you know, he probably didn't want to be nosy, but I'm like, this is a first date, like a total stranger. How do you not try to get to know them? That's my own personal take on dating someone you've never met ever. Like, he talked about himself the entire time. On top of that, I mean, there were many reasons why I knew that this guy was not the one, but I was like, oh, it's gonna be fun. So this guy's an actor, like just started acting in the city, and I just never saw myself with an actor. I want somebody with a more stable, traditional job. My job is obviously not traditional at all, so I kind of want that balance in my next relationship. I want somebody with a more structured career. Anyways, there were so many reasons why I chose not to go out with him again. He messaged me before my trip to New York, and I told him I would message him when I got back, but I didn't. But since then, I've gone out with this one guy. Who's to say what's gonna happen? Like, I'm really not putting any expectations on it, but for now, it's fun. So that's my update. My current dating life and the British man. Sarah met the guy that I'm currently talking to and really liked him. So, you know, that's good to know. At least we have that. Speaking of Sarah, I got a lot of questions actually asking how I met Sarah. I met Sarah through TikTok. She's a TikToker, but she's also a sports producer. Very cool. Anyways, I started following her when I first moved back here, and she reached out and I didn't see the message. I actually ended up meeting her at an event end of November, like a holiday event. I saw her and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna go speak to her, which is so bold of me. Like, I normally would not do that, but she seemed really chill and cool. So as soon as we saw each other, we just like talked for the rest of the event, and then we got together a couple times, and then I went to LA for the winter. But obviously it's been a very fast friendship, and I'm very grateful for her and her friendship. She's such an honest, genuine person that, like, if I'm doing something fucked up, she's gonna tell me to my face, and I love that. I love her honesty. I feel like we have a very just authentic friendship that is as open as can be, and I love it. Are you still gonna do 1 date a month next year? Okay, I have 2 answers to this. One is no. I don't think I'll do it again. Like, I'm glad that I did it this year because it forced me to go on dates every month and meet new people, and I learned a lot in the process. I don't really want to put that expectation on myself again next year and just see like if people come to be. But also realistically would be nice if I didn't have to keep going on first dates. You know, I don't want to do that forever. I'd rather just meet the right person and not have to go on first dates, because while it's a great learning experience and I'm glad I've had this experience, I don't need to keep doing it for years and years to come. How to handle being the single one in your whole friend group. Okay. Honestly, my number one advice for being the single one in a group of married, engaged, long-term relationships people, you have to find single friends. It's simply the only way. People that are in relationships and long-term relationships just live a different life than the single people. So you need the single people to relate to and talk to about these experiences. Like I talk to Tasha almost every single day about our dating lives and just men and the guys and the apps, and same with Maddie and Mac, and Haley's also single. You know, it's so nice to have the single girls. Really, like, it's an essential. It's not a want, but a need. So I highly recommend trying to find some single friends. Easier said than done, but like, that is it. Okay, last thing in terms of all of this fun stuff. Are you still happy with the single vibes or looking for love? I have remained very true to what I'm about to say. I love my single time. Like, I love my space. I do not get lonely. Like, I love my nights to myself. I think we should all know that by now. But I also love being in love and I love being in a relationship. But those two worlds have always been very different for me. Like, when I'm in a relationship, I go full on like married mode. And I don't think that's healthy. I don't think that's good. It's not what I would want to do in my next relationship. So to answer the question, I'm very happy single, but I'm also looking for love. I would love to be in love, but I'm in no place to ever settle. If I never meet the right person, I will still never settle for the wrong one, because I value myself too much and I would rather enjoy my company the way that I do than like have somebody for the sake of having somebody that isn't going to add to my life, because then I'm just going to be annoyed with them because I'd rather be alone. I simply don't have it in me to settle just for the sake of being in a relationship. And I think that everybody should get to that point in their single life where they're genuinely happy on their own, so that you just don't settle for anything less than you deserve. Ooh. I hear the rain coming down hard again. Anyways, that's my stance. Let me know in the comments if you are in a relationship. What's your vibe? How long have you been in one? If you're single, if you have single friends, give me your whole story in the comments. 5:07 now, just about nighttime. I'm gonna make some dinner in a couple hours, and until then I'm going to work right here. I'm just gonna be on the couch the way I like it. This is a great day. I love when I make a really yummy dinner and there's leftovers for the next day. Now I'm going to have it again. The only thing I have to make is the sauce. Let's chop our ingredients. If you missed my last video, we have spinach, sun-dried tomatoes, we have some cheese and some cream. What else did I put in there? I'm just gonna make the sauce the way I did in the last vlog. If you wanna know what I'm doing, just watch my last vlog. Voila, dinner. Taking dinner to the couch, watching my one episode of TV, and then I'm actually gonna crawl into bed as soon as it's over so that I can get back to my fantasy world, because whoa, it is crazy right now and all I want to do is find out what's happening next. But before I get back into my book, we will answer a few more questions and then I gotta go. Okay, 2 episodes left of The Summer I Turned Pretty. It's getting juicy. Lots of juicy stuff over here. I decided just to hold it. Look at this. Big drama on all fronts. The Summer I Turned Pretty is getting pretty dramatic. I have 1 episode left. So the way that episode ended, crazy. Book, wild, we've established. But as I get myself ready for bed, we will answer a few last questions. Can't see anything now, but I'm gonna do some skincare. What do you do when you don't have motivation? Oh, okay, so wait, I'm gonna use the advanced night repair serum. Quite simply, you just do it anyways. Motivation is not always gonna be there, but if you want something bad enough, you have to do it anyways. If you rely on motivation to get things done, it's gonna be really hard to accomplish things. I can't see how much product I'm putting on my face. I think when it comes to motivation, your discipline is more important, but at least for me, when I want something bad enough, I can make myself do it. You know, even if I'm not super excited about it one day, if I want something enough, I will go and get it. Okay, what do I want to put on now? I can't see anything. Okay, on top of that, I'm going in with the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream, perfect before bed, but I also believe in not being too hard on yourself. And if you're having a day, a week, where you just don't feel the most motivated, if you can, don't worry about it. Start over the next week. Start over tomorrow. Sometimes you have to give yourself the day or some time. Listen to your body and don't push yourself too hard. That is, I think, everything in moderation. Okay, that's gonna be it for the skin today. Now we're good. Okay, last one that I want to comment on. Love seeing you feel comfortable with your audience again. I wanted to talk about that because there was definitely some time there where I was more filtered and reserved with what I said and like how I spoke out of just being self-conscious and worried about what people were gonna say. So I stopped talking about certain things. I just felt like I couldn't really be myself. I don't know when that started, when it changed, but I do really feel connected again. And I just feel like I'm in a really good place right now, which I think translates. But it's nice to see that some of you feel like I am more myself again. At least that's how I'm perceiving that message. But I'm going to end the video here, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was just like a big chatty vlog, but it's time to get back to my dragon world. So I'm going to say goodbye to you here. Again, I hope you enjoyed watching the vlog, and I will see you in the next video with Christmas.